Have you ever been there? Lying awake at night, staring at the ceiling, while your mind runs a marathon you never signed up for. It's the what if game. What if I fail the presentation tomorrow? What if that weird pain is something serious? What if I can't pay that bill next month? What if my kids aren't safe? Each question is like a doorway, and behind each door are 100 more, each one more frightening than the last. Your heart starts to beat a little faster. Your chest feels tight. It's a feeling of being trapped, not by walls or by chains, but by your own thoughts. This is anxiety. It's the fear of the future, the weight of uncertainty, and the endless noise of a mind that just won't be still. For so many of us, this is a daily reality. We're told to just stop worrying, or think positive, as if it's a switch we can simply flip. But it never feels that easy, does it? There's an ancient piece of writing, a letter written nearly 2,000 years ago by a man named Paul while he was imprisoned. You'd think he, of all people, would have every reason to be anxious. Yet, from that place of uncertainty, he gave us one of the most powerful and practical roadmaps for dealing with worry ever written. It's found in the book of Philippians, chapter 4, verses 6 and 7. And it's not just a nice, comforting quote to put on a coffee mug. It's an instruction manual. A step-by-step process for taking that chaotic, spinning wheel of anxiety and bringing it to a place of profound peace. Today, we're going to walk through that process together. Not just reading the words, but unpacking them, step by step, to see how we can apply this ancient wisdom to the very real anxieties we face right now. The passage begins with a direct, almost startling command. Do not be anxious about anything. Let's pause right there. If you're anything like me, your first reaction might be, well, that's easier said than done. It can almost feel dismissive. Don't be anxious? But my worries feel so real, so valid. And they are. This verse isn't denying the reality of our problems. It's not telling us to pretend our challenges don't exist. Think of it less as a scolding and more as an invitation. Imagine you're lost in a thick, confusing forest, running in circles, getting more and more panicked. Then, a guide appears and says, "Stop running." They're not saying the forest isn't real or that you're not lost. They're saying, stop doing the thing that isn't working, because I have a better way out. That's what this first phrase is. It's the invitation to stop the frantic, internal spinning. To acknowledge that the cycle of worry isn't leading to a solution, it's just leading to more worry. It's permission to step off the hamster wheel. So the first step is simply to recognize it. When you feel that familiar knot of anxiety tightening in your stomach, just pause and acknowledge it. Okay, I'm feeling anxious right now. This is the start of the worry cycle. You're not judging it. You're just noticing it. And in that moment of noticing, you're creating a little bit of space between you and the feeling. And it's in that space that the next part of the instruction comes in. The verse continues, but in everything. This is one of the most liberating parts of the whole passage. It means no worry is disqualified. Nothing is too big for God, and nothing is too small for His attention. The stress about your global, political, or economic fears? That counts. The anxiety about a difficult conversation you need to have with a friend? That counts. The low-grade, humming worry about your to-do list or being late for an appointment? That counts, too. Sometimes we try to filter our prayers. We think, oh, this is a silly thing to bother God with. I should be able to handle this on my own. But this verse removes that filter. The word is everything. It invites a level of intimacy and trust where we can bring the entire, unfiltered contents of our worried minds to Him. From the catastrophic fears to the mundane frustrations, it all belongs. So, once you've acknowledged the anxiety, the second step is to remind yourself, this specific worry I'm feeling right now is included in the everything. It is a valid subject for this process. This moves us from a general feeling of anxiety to a specific subject. And that's crucial for the next step. The verse tells us what to do with that, everything. By prayer and supplication. Let's break these two words down, because they're slightly different, and both are important. Prayer is the broader term. Think of it as your ongoing conversation with God. It's the relationship. It's talking to Him as you would a trusted friend or a loving father. It's open, honest, and relational. Supplication, however, is more specific. The root of this word means to make a humble and earnest request. It's getting specific. It's about clearly articulating your need. So, this isn't just a vague, "Oh God, help me, I'm so stressed." It's taking that worry you identified in the previous step and turning it into a specific, heartfelt request. Instead of just worrying about a job interview, you specifically ask, "God, please give me clarity of thought during this interview. Please calm my nerves and help me to communicate my skills effectively. I'm placing the outcome in your hands." Instead of just feeling anxious about a sick loved one, you make a specific supplication. "Father, I'm so scared for them. Please be with the doctors. Please guide their hands. Please bring comfort and healing to their body." This act of turning a vague worry into a specific prayer is incredibly powerful. Worry is circular. It just spins and spins, revisiting the same fears over and over. But prayer is directional. It takes that anxious energy and gives it a destination. You are actively handing it over to someone else. It's the difference between being stuck in a whirlpool and actually throwing a rope to the shore. So, the third step is to verbalize it. Either out loud or in your heart, turn your specific worry into a specific request. Define what you're afraid of, and then ask God for His specific help in that area. But the instruction doesn't end there. There's one more component to the process, and honestly, it's the secret ingredient. It's the part that truly changes everything. With thanksgiving, this is the game changer. At the very moment you are presenting your deepest worries and fears, you are instructed to bring gratitude into the conversation. This seems completely counterintuitive, doesn't it? How can I be thankful when I'm in the middle of a storm? My mind is filled with what's wrong, what I lack, what I fear might happen. But this is where the genius of God's design comes in. Anxiety and gratitude cannot occupy the same mental space at the same time. They are fundamentally opposed. Anxiety is rooted in the fear of a negative future. Gratitude is rooted in the acknowledgement of a present or past provision. When you deliberately practice thanksgiving, you are forcing your brain to change its focus. You are pivoting from what you fear you will lose to what you have already been given. You are shifting your perspective from the size of your storm to the size of your God. And this isn't about pretending to be thankful for the bad situation. You don't have to say, "Thank you for this illness," or "Thank you for this financial crisis." You can say, "God, in the middle of this frightening situation, I thank you that you have never left me before. I thank you for the breath in my lungs right now. I thank you for the roof over my head. I thank you for that one friend who is supporting me. I thank you that your promises are true." Gratitude becomes the anchor that holds you steady while the winds of worry are howling. It reminds your heart of God's character. He is faithful. He is good. He has provided before, and He will provide again. So, the fourth step is this. Right after you've made your specific request, intentionally find at least 3 things you can be thankful for. They don't have to be related to the problem. They just have to be true. This practice rewires your brain. It breaks the momentum of fear and replaces it with the momentum of faith. So let's recap the 4 steps we've been given. Step 1. Acknowledge the anxiety. Stop the cycle by simply noticing it. Step 2. Identify the everything. Pinpoint the specific worry instead of letting it be a vague cloud of dread. Step 3. Turn it into prayer and supplication. Make a specific, heartfelt request to God. Step 4. Inject thanksgiving. Intentionally shift your focus to gratitude, remembering God's faithfulness. This is the process. This is the practical how-to, and it comes with a promise. This isn't just good advice, it's a spiritual equation. If you do this, something will happen. The verse concludes, "And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." Let's sit with that for a moment. The peace of God. This is not the peace of the world. The world's peace is conditional. It's the absence of problems. I'll be peaceful when I get the job, when my health is good, when my relationships are perfect. But the peace of God is totally different. The verse says it transcends all understanding. This means it's a peace that doesn't make sense on paper. It's the ability to be calm in the middle of the storm, not just after it has passed. It's a stillness in your soul even when your circumstances are chaotic. It's the quiet confidence that the God of the universe is in control, even when everything around you feels out of control. It's a supernatural peace. It's not something you can manufacture on your own. It is a gift that is given to you as a direct result of following the previous steps. And look at what this peace does. It will guard your hearts and your minds. Think of a guard, a soldier, standing watch over a fortress. That's the image here. Anxiety attacks two primary places: your heart, your emotions, your feelings, and your mind, your thoughts, your reasoning. When you feel that overwhelming dread, that's an attack on your heart. When you're trapped in those what if loops, that's an attack on your mind. The promise here is that God's peace will stand guard over these two vulnerable areas. It will act as a divine protector, keeping the destructive, spiraling nature of anxiety at bay. It doesn't necessarily remove the problem. The interview is still tomorrow. The bill is still due. But the peace of God stands guard, preventing the problem from overwhelming your inner world. It protects your heart from being consumed by fear and your mind from being hijacked by worry. This entire passage is a beautiful, practical, and powerful loop. You feel anxiety. You give it to God with thanksgiving. He gives you His peace in return. That peace then guards you against future anxiety. The more you practice this, the stronger that guard becomes. This isn't a one-and-done magic trick. It is a spiritual discipline. It's a muscle that we have to exercise. The first few times you try it, it might feel awkward. Your mind will want to slip back into its old, comfortable ruts of worry. That's normal. But every time you choose to stop, to identify the worry, to pray specifically, and to find something to be thankful for, you are carving a new neural pathway in your brain. You are building a new spiritual habit. You are training your first response to a problem to be prayer, not panic. So, the next time you feel that familiar dread begin to creep in, don't just try to fight it or ignore it. See it as a cue. An alarm bell. It's a reminder to begin the process. A reminder to walk through these steps. Take a breath. Acknowledge the feeling without judgment. Pinpoint what the specific worry is. Hand that specific worry over to God in prayer. Then, actively look for His goodness and express your gratitude. And then, just wait. Be still. And allow the peace that makes no sense to stand guard over you. It's a promise, and it's for you. Right here, right now, in the middle of whatever you're facing.